And it's time now for our digital dive. Now, this is the story I first woke up to on my social media page this morning. It's one of the biggest issues our country faces today, and that is school shootings. And you might have saw this yesterday as well. This little boy here, he is a young student reporter, and he was at the press briefing with Sarah Huckabee Sanders, the press secretary, and he decided to ask her about school shootings. His name is Benji. Take a look.
One thing that affects mine and other students' mental health is to worry about the fact that we or our friends could get shot at school. Specifically, can you tell me what the administration has done and will do to prevent these senseless tragedies?
As a kid and certainly as a parent, there is nothing that could be more terrifying for a kid to go to school and not feel safe. So I'm sorry that you feel that way. This administration takes it seriously.
As you can see there, Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders getting a little bit emotional about that student's question. And this has a lot of mixed reaction on social media this morning. People chiming in, saying about Sarah's reaction. This person says it was nice to see a little bit of human side of Sarah Huckabee Sanders yesterday during the White House press briefing while asked a question about school shooting by a child. And David says, with respect, the story is the press secretary had no actual answer to an important question, not that she choked up. And of course, some news did come out of the press briefing yesterday. NPR tweeting this: President Trump will meet with victims of the Santa Fe high school shooting out of Texas today, White House Press Secretary Sanders said in that meeting. So let us know what you think if you saw this. Let us know on our social media pages by going to Facebook and to Twitter. Lauren?